in the middle of a rain-kissed city where the cobblestones gleam like glass and steam curls up from midnight cafes, there lives a fairy no taller than a teacup. Her name is Liora. She has wings like folded paper lanterns and a habit of getting distracted by anything that glimmers. Droplets of rain, the flash of a bicycle bell, even the blue flicker of a bakery sign. But what Liora loves most of all is collecting light. Liora lives in a tiny hollow behind the travel section of Pennington's old bookshop. If you slid your hand behind a row of dusty atlases, you might brush the corner of her doorway, a frame of bent paper clips with a curtain sewn from a handkerchief. Every evening just after the shopkeeper locks up, Liora slips out into the sleeping streets with her satchel, and she gathers a shiver of candlelight from the bakery across the road, the silvery blink from a cat's eyes in the alley, a swirl of neon pink stolen from the sign of the flower shop. She tucks each into little glass beads, which she keeps in jars stacked high in her room. One rainy night, Liora is gliding through the lamplight outside Cafe Nocturne when she notices her, a young woman sitting alone by the big corner window, a sketchbook open, a mug cooling beside her, her head bent over her page, but her eyes, they keep wandering to the street. Liora pauses in midair, hiding behind a hanging plant. She watches night after night. The woman always chooses the same seat, always orders the same steaming drink, and always looks out into the darkness, as though searching for someone. One evening, curiosity gets the better of her. She flits inside the cafe, darting between sugar jars and menus until she's close enough to hear the woman's voice. The waitress is refilling her cup. "Still waiting?" she asks softly. The woman nods. "My brother, he's been traveling years now. Said he'd come home when he was ready. Every night I sit here, hoping I'll see him walk through that door." Leora's wings quiver. She thinks of her own sister, gone to live in a distant forest years ago, and how she still dreams of the day she'll come home. That night, as rain patters on the bookshop roof, Liora sits among her jars of light, and an idea begins to bloom. If the young woman's brother is somewhere out there in the city, maybe, just maybe, he could be guided home. But for that, she'd need the brightest, warmest lantern the city had ever seen, one made from every kind of light. For nights on end, Liora works. She gathers the gold spill from a lamplighter's match, the glitter of frost under a street lamp, the emerald glow from the clock tower's face at midnight. She braves the rooftops to catch a ribbon of moonlight, wrapping it carefully around the lantern frame. She's building from bent safety pins and thimble wire. Even the grumpy tram conductor unwittingly helps when his sparks fly along the rails. Liora swoops down to snatch them mid-air. Soon, her tiny home glows with a lantern so bright it bathed the travel books in a warm, dappled haze. On the night she plans to place it in the cafe window, the sky rumbles like an empty stomach. Clouds crowd out the moon, and rain begins to fall in fat, heavy drops. Liora hesitates. The wind is fierce, her wings slick with rain. But then she thinks of the young woman's face, waiting night after night, and she grips the lantern tight. The streets are rivers. The air is thick with mist. Every gust nearly tears the lantern from her hands, and twice she's forced to dive under awnings to relight it with a scrap of saved candle glow. By the time she reaches the cafe, her hair clings to her face, and her fingers ache from holding the lantern's handle. With a final burst of wing beats, she slips through the tiny gap in the cafe window and sets the lantern on the sill. It's no bigger than a teapot, but it shines like summer at midnight, casting swirls of pink, gold, and blue across the rainy glass. The young woman looks up from her sketchbook, startled. Her eyes widen at the strange shimmering light, and just then the cafe door opens. A man stands there, dripping from the rain, his coat travel-worn, his eyes scanning the room. When they land on the woman, she rises so quickly her chair tips over. They meet in the middle of the cafe, embracing like they'll never let go. From her hiding place behind the sugar jar, Liora smiles. Later that night, Liora flies home, the lantern's handle swinging from her hand. Now just a soft afterglow, she tucks it away between her jars of light, each one holding a memory of the night. And in Café Nocturne, the woman sits by the window once more, but now with her brother beside her, laughter spilling like music into the warm city night. Because sometimes a little light is all it takes to guide someone home.